Imagine flying high in the sky, and suddenly, everything changes. That's what happened with Thai Airways Flight X. On a routine flight, tragedy struck in the mountains. We explore what went wrong and why. First, let's understand the flight's journey. The aircraft took off without issues. Passengers were relaxed and excited. However, high above the mountains, turbulence hit hard. The plane encountered unexpected weather patterns. Sudden shifts can catch pilots off guard. Now, let's break down turbulence. It occurs due to airflow changes. Mountains can create dangerous turbulence, called mountain wave turbulence. This turbulence is especially fierce. It can flip planes upside down swiftly. Pilots train for turbulence, but nature is unpredictable. As the flight climbed, weather reports didn't indicate danger. But conditions can change rapidly in mountainous regions. Once turbulence began, the pilots reacted quickly. They attempted to stabilize the aircraft. Unfortunately, the plane lost control. Here's a scenario: think of a car driving on a rocky road. Sudden bumps can throw you off balance. That's similar to what pilots faced. Communication is key in aviation. The crew reported difficulties to air traffic control. Help was on the way, but time was critical. In many cases, turbulence causes no harm. However, mountain turbulence is unique. It challenges even seasoned pilots. Summarizing the key points, turbulence can strike unexpectedly. Pilots face unique challenges in mountain regions. Communication and swift actions are vital during crises. The main message: stay aware of weather changes when flying. Next time you board a flight, remember these stories. If you found this video insightful, share it with friends. Subscribe for more aviation insights. Your knowledge is your power. On that fateful day, passengers on board were blissfully unaware of the impending chaos. Laughter filled the cabin, and the scent of coffee wafted through the air as flight attendants served refreshments, setting a tranquil scene high above the clouds. Suddenly, the serene atmosphere shattered, replaced by a deafening roar as the aircraft jolted violently, sending the contents of the cabin into disarray. A sense of panic erupted as the overhead compartments swung open, spilling bags and personal items onto the aisles. Passengers instinctively clutched their armrests, wide-eyed and gasping, while the flight attendants struggled to maintain their composure, rushing to reassure frightened travelers. The pilots, determined to regain control, were already coordinating with each other, adjusting flight controls in an effort to stabilize the aircraft amid the rising chaos. The turbulent ride continued, each violent jolt radiating fear throughout the cabin as passengers exchanged terrified glances. Amidst the chaos, the flight attendants bravely navigated the aisle, urging occupants to fasten their seatbelts and stay calm. The cabin lights flickered, momentarily plunging everyone into darkness, heightening the tension. Above, the cockpit was a flurry of activity. The pilots communicated rapidly, assessing their options and demanding a clear assessment of the surrounding weather conditions. Furthermore, the altitude drop elicited gasps, yet they refused to yield to panic. They maintained focus, encouraging each other, prepared to face the challenges ahead without hesitation. Together, they embodied resilience, embodying the spirit of teamwork amidst turbulence. In the midst of this turmoil, time felt as though it had slowed down. Each second stretched on as everyone braced for the unpredictable movements of the aircraft. Outside the windows, dark clouds rolled menacingly, obscuring the majestic mountain peaks that surrounded them. The pilots, hearts racing, received the urgent updates from air traffic control as they weighed their options. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, they worked in unison, relying on their rigorous training to navigate through the storm. Calmly, they communicated their intentions to the crew and passengers, reminding everyone to stay seated and buckled during these critical moments. As the turbulence intensified, the pilots executed a series of calculated maneuvers, desperately trying to regain altitude and avoid treacherous air pockets that threatened their control. In the end, Thai Airways Flight X serves as a stark reminder of aviation's unpredictable nature, where even routine flights can descend into chaos in seconds, emphasizing the importance of preparedness and the crucial role of teamwork in overcoming adversity in the skies. As the aircraft continued to sway violently, the tension within the cabin was palpable. Passengers exchanged anxious looks, gripping their arms and each other for reassurance, while flight attendants, resolute in their duties, moved through the chaos with a calm urgency. One attendant reached a young mother cradling her terrified child, gently urging her to take a deep breath, reminding her that they were in this together. The mother nodded, visibly trying to muster courage for her child. With every jolt, the aircraft felt like a fragile leaf caught in a storm, and the flight attendants, embodying professionalism, continued their rounds, checking on passengers, offering words of comfort amid the uncertainty. One attendant approached an elderly gentleman, who had begun to panic, her voice steady and reassuring as she reminded him of the safety protocols in place. "Just hold on tight, sir, we'll get through this together," she said, her eyes meeting his with an unwavering strength that seemed to calm him momentarily. The pilots, unyielding in their focus, made critical decisions in rapid succession. They communicated with air traffic control, updating them on their situation while simultaneously calculating their next moves, to regain stability. "We're experiencing severe turbulence," one pilot relayed, urgency in his voice. The feedback from air traffic confirmed the worst fears. They were in the thick of mountain wave turbulence, a condition notorious for its unpredictability. Each second, the aircraft shook violently, but the pilots remained committed, relying on their training and instincts to steer through the chaos. As they adjusted their altitude and heading, determination fueled their actions, knowing that every decision counted in these harrowing moments. With every adjustment, they set their sights on managing the situation, determined to bring the aircraft back under control. With tension mounting, and the aircraft still fighting against nature's fury, the cockpit was alive with urgency. The co-pilot leaned over the instruments, scanning for any sign of respite in the relentless shaking that threatened their flight. "We need to find a pocket of smoother air," he urged, his voice steady despite the chaos. "There's got to be a way through these conditions." Meanwhile, outside, the storm raged, dark clouds swirling ominously as if mocking their struggle. As the pilots executed their maneuvers, a flicker of hope emerged. They began to feel slight variations in the aircraft's response, guiding them towards possible stabilization. Just then, a voice crackled over the intercom, steady and clear. "Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your patience during this turbulent phase. Our crew is doing everything possible to ensure your safety." The reassurance surged through the cabin, a reminder that even in the grip of anxiety, they were not alone. Each heartbeat synchronized with the pounding of the aircraft, but they pressed on, bolstered by resilience and hope amidst the storm. As the turbulence raged on, the flight attendants continued their determined efforts, moving through the aisles to ensure that all passengers were securely fastened and as comfortable as possible. One attendant, her voice steady amidst the cacophony, assured a group of young travelers that they were trained to handle such situations. "Stay calm, and trust in the crew," she encouraged them, her eyes filled with unwavering resolve. Meanwhile, a sense of teamwork was evident, as fellow crew members exchanged quick glances, silently reaffirming their shared mission to safeguard everyone on board. Just then, a sudden lurch caused the cabin lights to flicker again, a stark reminder of the storm's fierce hold. Yet through it all, a spirit of resilience filled the air, as passengers, though frightened, gained collective strength from one another in their shared ordeal. Amidst the chaos, the captain focused intently on the altimeter readings, recognizing that their altitude adjustments were yielding results. "We're beginning to level off, keep steady and maintain control," he instructed, feeling a surge of confidence as the turbulence gradually lessened. A glimmer of hope illuminated the cockpit, reinforcing their commitment to restoring stability despite the lingering cloud cover outside. The co-pilot nodded, double-checking the terrain maps in preparation for the next phase of flight. Time seemed to bend as they navigated through dark skies, but every successful maneuver rejuvenated the resolve of the crew. Out in the cabin, passengers held their breath, collectively exhaling as the vibrations softened, sensing the resolve of those at the helm. As they persevered, the cockpit remained a flurry of diligent activity, with the pilots focusing intently on their instruments. "Altitude stabilizing at 12,000 feet, the co-pilot announced, his voice a steady anchor amidst the uncertainty. They exchanged brief nods, both relieved but aware that the journey wasn't over yet. Meanwhile, the cabin's atmosphere began to shift, fear transformed gradually into cautious optimism, as the powerful shakes subsided. Flight attendants resumed their rounds, offering small bottles of water and soothing words, reinforcing the building sense of safety. One attendant paused, to reassure a child, her gentle smile breaking through the remnants of panic, conveying that together, they would emerge from this ordeal stronger. As the swirling clouds slowly parted, revealing clearer skies ahead, the passengers began to relax, allowing a sense of gratitude and relief to wash over them collectively, igniting a bond forged in the face of adversity. The captain, sensing the mood shift in the cabin, decided it was time to speak once again to reassure everyone. "Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your bravery and patience during this challenging moment," he communicated through the intercom, his voice steady yet warm. "We are on track to calmer skies ahead, and your safety is our top priority." As the aircraft continued its journey, the passengers found solace in the camaraderie that had blossomed during the ordeal. United in their shared experience, they exchanged smiles and stories, grateful for their safety and the unwavering dedication of the crew. This flight, once a routine trip, became a testament to human resilience and the strength of unity in